So I'm very pleased to say we're now joined by the Chief Financial Officer of Tesco, Laurie McIlwee. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. How concerned are you about the possibility of a double-dip recession?
Oh, I don't think there's much chance of a double-dip recession. I mean, if that question's with regard to the UK, I'd probably like to start with a kind of global outlook, because we're fortunate to have 14 different economies to retail in, and they're all coming out of the recession at different speeds. And as you said in your introduction, actually Asia is probably our star market at the moment. We've got a 30% profit growth in Asia. But reference to the UK, there's growth, there's slow and steady growth, but that's good for Tesco. We'll compete well in that environment. We're opening quite a lot more space. We've got about 2.5 million square feet opening this year. That'll give us 6 to 7% more space and a good 3 and 3.5% growth in sales.
Mr. McIlwee, if I speak to you in 5 years from now, how much of your sales are you going to be doing in Asia?
Oh, it'll be pretty significant. I mean, even at the half year, we've got 5 billion of sales. But if I gave you one statistics, we'll have as much space in China in 5 years' time as we've got in our total international business now. So that's about 60 to 70 million square feet. So Asia is going to be a significant part of the group.
It does seem that you're trying, of course, to bring as many discount lines as possible, at the same time offering double points for loyalty cards. Are you not afraid that actually by chasing the customer at whatever cost, you're hurting margins and therefore your top-line growth?
Well, sorry to correct you, but the opposite is happening. Actually, the fastest growing ranges in Tesco at the moment are our upmarket range. In fact, in the UK, it's called Finest, and it's bigger than Coca-Cola in the UK. And if you look at our margin performance, it's actually improved year on year pretty steadily, about 0.1%. So that's good balance between getting good investment behind the marketing mix as well as getting good productivity behind that. In fact, you know, our productivity program this year is about £800 million. That's pretty significant.
So that's a very interesting point, actually, because if you do say that it's, you know, Tesco's Finest that is growing by the most, is that where you're trying to get customers? You're offering discount lines and at the same time the best.
Well, that is the point, Francine. One of Tesco's biggest strengths is it offers a range to a very broad church of customers. And regardless of where we are in an economic cycle, there will be a range that will be growing the fastest in Tesco. Sometimes it's our value ranges or our discount ranges or our own brand, Tesco Select, or indeed our Finest brands.
Mr. McIlwee, how do you think you will perform in the mortgage loans? I mean, what makes you think that you're going to do a better job than the banks that actually didn't foresee this crisis 2 years ago?
Well, we've been in banking for 10 years, so we think we know what we're doing. We've been in a joint venture, and we recently bought out our joint venture partners. And since then, we've been building the banking infrastructure systems, because all of our business ran on RBS's banking and insurance systems. That's going really well. I mean, it's a major infrastructure build, but we'll be ready in the coming weeks to start writing our own insurance onto our own infrastructure. And indeed, we'll be launching our first banking product, a fixed interest bond, in the very near future as well. And as you mentioned, that will position us well to launch into the mortgage market.
Mr. Laurie McIlwee, thank you so much for joining us here on Bloomberg today.